Hello, everyone, and welcome to Yahweh's Money. If you notice things have been a little quiet in your podcast feed, it's because we are currently on a short production break while we prepare for what's next. But we didn't want to leave you without a little inspiration during this time. I've been doing a lot of reflecting on our Season 4 library, and there's so many powerful moments that keep coming back to mind. While all of our full episodes are always available for you to listen to whenever you need them, I wanted to take a moment to spotlight a few specific points that carry so much weight. So while we're on vacation, we curated a series of Yahweh's Money snapshots. These are 5-minute focused excerpts from episodes that really spoke to us, and we believe they'll speak to you too. Today's snapshot pulls from that collection, capturing a core truth we've explored here on the show. It's a short, powerful reminder of how we can better align our finances and our hearts with God's purpose. If this snippet resonates with you and you want to dive into the full conversation, you can find the link to the original episode right there in your show notes. Let's get into it. What's one way couples can build wealth together? Oh, that's good. We still learn that.
If you know, please let me know. I don't know how. Well, there's different ways to build wealth. Doing it as a couple is kind of hard, especially when people are not aligned. So maybe that's the best way to build wealth together, is just to become aligned, to develop a vision. And it doesn't have to be the same vision. It just has to be pointed in the same direction.
And they have to complement each other, which is pointing in the same direction. I agree. I'm reading this devotional, y'all, that really talks about that. And it's a leadership devotional around God and being a great leader. But it always says that, like, you got to have a clear vision for your people to follow. And I think that's the same in a marriage, right? Having that, like Nate saying, a vision that complements each other, it goes in same direction. We used to say, sometimes men are on Mars, Venus, wherever a planet they are. We want to come back here on Earth and try to be one and aligned. So, all right. Thank you, Nathaniel. That was great. Rapid fire question section. Now we're going to get into our main discussion around strengthening Black marriages through faith and finance. So as most of you hopefully know, God should be the center of the marriage. That's not always the case, but why faith strengthens relationships and finances. I mean, it really comes down to, like Nate saying, having that vision. But where have we struggled with that? Let's get into the real stuff.
With faith and finance?
Yeah.
I think I think that you are stronger in faith than I am. Mm-hmm. I struggle with faith. Not in the large term of it, but just understanding that dealing with the way the world is. Like, I have a hard time sometimes absorbing all of it and not being bogged down into it, right? And that impacts the way I look at everything. So I don't know if you've told everyone, but I'm a stickler for, like, getting insurance for this and getting insurance for that. I'm always worried about the rainy day fund type of situation. So that's where it always leads me. And that's not saying I don't have faith in things will work out the right way. I'm just always concerned that we won't be prepared for when things don't work out the right way.
Yeah. And so that's what we're trying to teach our clients. Yep.
So that's where I'm always concerned. And I don't know if that's because, and I'm absolutely sure it's because of the way I grew up. Right? I didn't grow up with a lot. And so I was always concerned that there was the rug is going to be pulled out from under us, which is a big concern of what goes on now. And so I'm always concerned that I'm not going to be able to provide, or that we're not going to be able to to sustain where we are today. So, and that weighs on me very heavily. And faith would be a way I could sit back and say, well, no, it'll be okay. I've never been comfortable in that position. And so, but that's what I have you for, right? So you're supposed to be that bridge, that support, to be like, yeah, you're okay. Yeah. I use you to kind of counterbalance my my ineptitude when it comes to faith. So I lean on you for that.
Yeah, you do. But I also lean on you for obviously you're the breadwinner and we provide together. But way I was raised, even though my dad was the breadwinner, my mom is a free spirit. So she was out there just doing a lot, and we had everything we needed and more. So when I started dating Nate, and even when we got married, I just was always thinking, like, I need all this. And I really didn't. And I didn't take the didn't take the time to think it takes time to build up. I just remember we were in Germany and I wanted to, let me go back to even Omaha when I wanted to buy that table, the dining room table. And I was just like, it was like,
$8,000, $10,000
yeah, that table was. And I remember calling my mom and she's like, Shay, I didn't get all this stuff. It took me 20 some years to get all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but we needed a dining room table. We ended up going to the Nebraska Furniture Mart, buying like a $400 table that we still have. We don't use it. We saving it for our daughter to take to her house whenever she move out. But I remember that. And I was so sad. Like, I wanted that big old table. And then we end up buying a nicer table later on. But I mean, I have so many stories about me wanting something then and now. And Nate's like, no, we cannot do this right now. And just being so sad about it and feeling like, and I think a lot of it came from the shame of people coming to our house. Like, I remember even, let's go back to Germany and having the FMO, the furniture management office, family furniture, the rental furniture is military people that listen, understand, but those even civilians, when you go certain places, the military will provide you this furniture and it's all hard and not comfortable. And I wanted all the nice furniture and Nate's like, no, we don't need to buy that. So we finally bought our Italian leather set like right before we left and we still got that now. Yeah. But it was just crazy because I always felt shame about the way my house looked because my mama had all this nice stuff. I always thought from the beginning, but no, she had to build up to it as well. So I thought I was going to come in 20 something, getting married and have a house full of beautiful furniture, trunks and all the stuff my mama had. Even it's funny how my mom's a free spirit and she was like, no, Shay, it took me a while to get to that. So I just had a different mentality, but now it's like, but I met people like that, young service members, young people, even outside of the military. They 20 some years old and they have everything, quote unquote, they needed, but they were going into debt doing all of that.
Well, let's not forget, that we could have bought those things.
We could have.
We could have had a lot of those things, but I don't know, from where I grew up, but like, it wasn't that we had the worst of things, right? We were kept okay. It wasn't the greatest, but it was okay because I always figured that with patience, and perseverance, we would be able to live with those things without all the debt and all the crap that comes with getting them. And I think we've achieved a lot of that. There's always room to do more, but I think we've achieved a lot of that. And it was never a place, it was never a portion of me that said we needed it now. Because I knew that, I guess that's part of the faith that I had, that we would get it later. And it was never about now. It was always, that's the way I live my life today, right? It's always about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Life is, I heard this, as a comedian said this one time, he was like, life is not short, life is long. And if you start looking at it like that, with that lens, you'll understand that, today can be hard, but, tomorrow will come.
Yeah.